stuff was gonna come out, I really thought that was gonna clear his name at one time. I thought it was gonna clear his name, and I'm I'm kind of confused with all of this because I feel like he's being railroaded. I feel like this is that judge that's a New York judge, and that judge is kind of biased with certain things. So that judge was already in her favor. So I feel
Mm,
like he's getting railroaded with all of this.
mm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to help give a more informed opinion and to help you all further understand what's going on, of course, you know your boy Lamont come with clips. Moochie, let's recall a couple of clips of what happened. First, let's talk about what they used as evidence against him. This probably was the most damaging part of why the trial didn't go in his direction. Here's a piece of evidence, and then we'll talk about it and come back.
Shocking evidence was released today in the trial of actor Jonathan Majors, accused of assaulting his ex-girlfriend. The video shows Majors inside the apartment he shared with dancer Grace Jabari. He's followed up the stairs by NYPD, and what they find is jaw-dropping. Inside a walk-in closet, his ex-girlfriend is sprawled across the floor, covered by a plaid blanket. She seems disoriented. Majors called 911 after he discovered her on the floor.
What happened exactly, do you know?
No, I don't know. She's unconscious. She's naked from the bottom down. She has a sweatshirt on. She's my ex-partner. We broke up.
He then explained how he couldn't get into the apartment.
I banged on the door. I've been at the apartment for about 40 minutes now. I couldn't get in. I finally went downstairs and asked the doorman to help us. They let me in via the handyman.
Prosecutors say a fight started the night before when Jabari saw this text message on the actor's phone. "Wish I was kissing you right now." It was apparently meant for another woman. Also part of the newly released evidence, photos taken by Jabari of what appears to be bruises on her finger.
Mm. Moochie, based on some of the other evidence we've seen via TMZ and links like that, where she was chasing him around, me and you wasn't privileged to sit in on the case. I think why so many people feel like this thing went wrong is because I would probably say that his team is saying on some level, some of the events that happened was self-defense because she went crazy after she saw that text message. Do you think that there's any validity to that? And maybe that's what preempted this quote unquote altercation?
Yeah, I absolutely think that. She went through his phone. She didn't like what she saw, and she spazzed out, and he basically was trying to probably stop trying to restrain her or whatever the case may be. Or they might have been like tussling over the phone.
Hmm. The other thing that I feel like hurt his case, me and Lexa Targaryen did this video a couple of weeks ago, where he basically was telling her he was going to have somewhat of a mental health breakdown, what may have you, and that she needed to respect him like some of the great African queens of the past, referred to Oprah, Michelle Obama, and some others. And I kind of think, Moochie, in this situation, do you feel like if this had been a sister, that he'd be found guilty, or do you think that justice would be the exact same?
I I don't agree with that. I feel like that I don't agree with that at all. I feel like with this whole thing, it's who's involved with it. It's who's involved with it, and I believe the powers that be is controlling all of this. And I'm being honest with you. We gonna talk about it. We got to be real with it.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
all he's rolling with a different class of people, and when you don't fall in line with them, they'll make sure either you gonna fall in line or you gonna get kicked out of the line. And he's kicked out of the line.
Do you think they saw Jonathan Majors as a threat to the powers that be because he had so much pull, because he was a brother, because he was making inroads in the MCU. He was basically about to be the next Thanos for the MCU's upcoming film runs. And I'm going to just tell y'all like this. He went to acting school where I live at in North Carolina.
Mhm.
And in North Carolina, I've met a couple of Anglo-Saxon actors who feel like he rubbed them the wrong way. Felt like he was arrogant. They felt like he was detached. Some cases, they just felt like he was just an a-hole. So having said that, you would kind of believe what Moochie is saying about a conspiracy. But Moochie, even
So
having
you,
said that,
all right,
you
I got a question
still
for you.
have to engage in a behavior that kind of puts yourself in that situation. Now, granted, to me, it sounds like maybe he was trying to defend himself from her because she went off when she saw that text message. And this is classic situation where a lot of women believe that they can hit a man, and because of the laws that are involved, the man is not going to do nothing but stand there and take it. And I believe that still works for Karens. I do. I think that works for Karens, that they can incite violence. And I'm not saying that's what she did. We don't know the ins and outs. But I do believe Karens can incite violence. And when someone tries to defend themselves, boom, you the one in trouble. It's kind of like the NFL, Moochie. When somebody is about to get into a fight in football, the referee never see the first guy that initiated. The one that get in trouble is always the damn defensive end who got punched in the face by the quarterback, but the ref didn't see it. And having said that, Moochie, it makes you wonder about what's next for him. I don't think he's going to serve any jail time. But do you think that his career short term is going to take a pause?
I believe he's gonna be just like Columbus Short. He's gonna get blackballed. Remember, Columbus Short was in the hottest show, and his stuff went left. And I believe he's gonna be one of those type of actors, and it's sad to see. And I just wish at this point, like they already pulling back the veil with Hollywood. They pulling back the veil with hip hop. I hope they pull back this whole veil where they can see how things is run. And you know, I'm sorry. She basically threw a rock, hit her hand, and then now she does the whole crying thing and makes her look like the victim. Then they find these other people and talk about his behavior, and this was never talked about before. So I feel like they create a smear campaign with him as far as just talking about how he treated previous relationships. And I don't know about all of that, but I just, something doesn't seem real right in all of this. And something seems totally wrong with all of this. And this guy's career is ruined. They already had him posing in the magazines with looking feminine. And they do that with black men in entertainment. Either they put them in a dress or they do something to make them look feminine. So it's just like it's always black men. They want to emasculate the black man. And just because I hate to go there with MCU, they don't want a black man looking that powerful in the MCU universe. That's why the Black Panther is going. They're gonna make sure that he doesn't get like that, because they saw what happened with the Black Panther movies.
So I'm gonna give some pushback to your statement, but it's gonna be after we get this last clip of what actually happened in court, what the rulings were, and what's going to be the next step. Take a look at this.
On day 3 of deliberations, a 6-person jury found Marvel star Jonathan Majors guilty of assaulting and harassing his former girlfriend. Now, in a stunning reversal of fortune for the once rising star, Majors reportedly has been dropped by Marvel Studios.
A rising Hollywood star, Jonathan Majors, has been found guilty of assault and harassment charges. The 6-person jury returned the verdict after about 5 hours of deliberation over 3 days. The high-profile trial took place over 2 weeks.
A New York jury has reached a verdict in the assault trial of actor Jonathan Majors.
The jury has found him guilty of some charges in this New York criminal case.
Majors was accused of beating his ex-girlfriend, dancer Grace Jabari, after an argument in the back of an SUV. It stemmed from a romantic text he received from another woman. Jonathan Majors did not take the stand in his own defense, and as the verdict was read, he showed no emotion other than to wrinkle his forehead. All the while, his new girlfriend, the actress Megan Good, and his family sat directly behind him in court. The jury considered jaw-dropping evidence that included this video of Jabari on the floor of a walk-in closet inside Majors' Manhattan apartment. There was also this moment of him pushing her into the back of an SUV after she read a flirty text from another woman.
So I think what we saw was a very damning portrait of what was going on.
Dominic Patton, senior editor of Deadline, says Majors' career will likely come to a screeching halt.
Majors was acquitted of 2 other counts of assault and aggravated harassment. He will be back in court for sentencing on February 6th.
Moochie, do you think that the text he received was from Megan Good?
Yes, I do. That's why she came to court with him. I think she did. I think she felt like, she came to court with him. I always said that. I said that from the first time I covered it. I believe that text message was from her.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. Well, at first I was saying another woman. Then when she started coming into the picture, it was her. She knew she lost her little thing. So she like, if I'm mad, everybody gonna be mad. Since you're not gonna be with me, you're not gonna have your career either.
Men, let this be a lesson. Even if you are in the right, and I'm not saying that he is, because as of right now, the courts, whether they're wrong or right, whether they're tainted or not, the court is saying he's guilty. What I want to come from this is you have got to always be on the top of the game, preparing yourself. You got to be on defense against these type of things. You've always got to be thinking about what you're texting to someone. And I'm guilty of not doing that. Not to this detriment, but I've been in situations like this before in the past where I text someone something that I thought was going to be confidential, and bam, it comes out. It wasn't nothing that could kill my career or anything like that, but stuff I wouldn't really want anybody to hear me saying. You've always got to be conscious of those type of things when they happen, especially with someone who you might be in kind of, it sounds like they was already broke up. So you've got to be thinking, what could this woman try to do to harm me because she might lose me? Incite some violence. She got mad. She beat him up. And then acted as though it seems like, okay, well, I'm going to get with the program. You tell me what to do. For all we know, that could have been her just having the recording set up. But he's guilty.
And you can legally record phone calls in New York. So it don't have to be like she this is a whole thing, a whole scam to me. I'm sorry. I'll be the conspiracy theorist. Y'all can call me whatever you want. And I don't care. I feel like he was railroaded with this. And
well, I mean, Moochie, that's your opinion. You can have your opinion, and you can read the evidence however you want. I mean, nobody can be mad at you for that, And to that regard,
chase somebody for like 8 city blocks. You know how long 8 city blocks is? It looked like they ran a marathon. He was running for his life.
And it makes you wonder what was the jury thinking? Maybe the jury was thinking, well, we got this evidence. White woman was bruised, beat up. Even though we seen him running from her, we also heard him on voice box. We heard him and seen him in text. We seen him running from her. We got to do something so that these people don't just be ready to come after us, per se. I don't know. But this is what I do know, Moochie. People are hypocrites. And too many people that are supporting a human being who has 98 indictments, and has been convicted on one crime, that's running for president, has damn near half the support of the United States, and some of those same individuals is trying to condemn Jonathan Majors as if he's the worst thing since a rotten egg formed smell. I don't want to hear it from y'all. I don't. I don't. That man has done more heinous things than Jonathan Majors has ever had in his worst nightmare, but yet you still about to vote for that guy to be in the White House. And
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors, Moochie, he's too talented of an actor for this to end his career. And I'm not someone
I
who
agree.
you've seen caking up for Jonathan Majors. You know, I went to the Creed premiere in Washington, D.C. I enjoyed him in Lovecraft's Country. I see the talent.
Yes, we
I think
did.
I see he's a phenomenal talent. And when you're that talented, a speed bump like this is just what it is. It's a speed bump. But when I have these shows, which I want us to learn how we can prevent individual people from getting into these situations, because if this was just a regular layperson, the media wouldn't know about it, and you be having to sit here and wonder, like, damn, how the hell did I get myself in this situation? Damn it. I like to encourage people on how to prevent these situations. So, Moochie, if you was talking to your son, what would you tell your son when it comes down to these type of situations where he might get caught, where he's with his ex-girlfriend, new boo texts him, ex-girlfriend sit on the phone, and then she wants to get a little violent?
What have I been telling my son? Close one door before you open the next. That's the problem with some men. They want a monkey bar from relationship to relationship, and they need to close one door before they open the next.
God damn it, Moochie, you hurt.
If you're gonna end something, it's cut and dry. You end it. Close one door before you go to the next, because in this world, you are not going to be looked at when it's when it's a thing with one person and the other person, and it's this person and this person. You understand? This person and this person. You're going to be looked at always as the aggressor. Even if you weren't the aggressor, even if you was trying to restrain her from hitting you, you will always be looked at as the aggressor. This is me talking to my son. You hear me on my voice? She is not going to look out for you like how I'm going to look out for him, like a mother look out for you. So you have to close one door before you open the next. Now, the question is, are they going to listen? Some people think it can't happen to them. Some people think, oh, it's not going to be me. It's going to be the next guy.
And the problem, to Moochie's point, what happens to us men, which is why I got my hand over my face, is because, Moochie, you've heard me say this over and over again. Usually the best panty draws is the craziest panty draws. And the craziest of all panty draws is usually white panty draws. And so that's why we men tend to hang from the monkey bar, Moochie, because while
that's the illusion. That's the illusion that y'all take, because they feel like black women do not speak, how you say, pour strength into a black man. And maybe sometimes we have failed as and I'm being honest, maybe sometimes we have failed because people think of their needs first. But also you have to speak life into your men. Even your young black men that you are raising. And sometimes you do all of that and they still go with what they, sometimes you can't help who you love. And I understand that. But you still gotta be careful and protect yourself.
What I'm saying, Moochie, is a lot of us men, we be done with a female, but we still like the sex, is what I'm saying. We don't love the bit. I mean, we don't love the woman. But while we trying to find the woman we want to invest our time, put into our queen, which it seems like maybe that's making good for him, we still want to get our rocks off, Moochie. We still want to get our rocks off. Swing. We want to get them.
I bet you he regretting it now, though.
Yeah, and that was the point, Moochie. That was the point. Honestly, that was the point I wanted you to get to. You always got to think about, is it worth it on the back end? Like, it feels good in the moment, but after that hot 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, however long it takes you to get there, is it worth the trouble that come with it? Most of the time, it's not. It's not. Especially when you got to deal with situations like this, especially when it's in this situation. How do you feel about the MCU? The minute the verdict came out, let me show you what they did.
They was already prepared.
Exactly. They was
already prepared.
Yeah, but Moochie,
it's plenty of other Marvel actors that have criminal charges, and they seem to disappear with other people. You got the whole. We didn't even get to Robert Downey yet in his career and the things that he's done. He was a full-blown addict back in the 90s.
That's
but nobody talks about that anymore. Nobody talks about that anymore. They just talk about him being Iron Man.
Or Ezra Miller and the things he did, they never changed him from the Flash. But you know what? That could be the reason why the Flash did horrible in the box office, Moochie. It could be. Because the movie was good.
Wasn't people boycotting it or something because of the way he was doing?
Yeah.
I don't even think some of our people was paying attention to all of that. And they probably still went to the movies to see that. I know I wasn't going because I seen this all coming out, and they not even talking about what he doing. And he had more charges than Jonathan Majors. He got it's a wanted poster up for him in Hawaii. So you know, I also tell my son this: you can't do the same thing that they do, because they're gonna go 2 times harder on you. No matter, even if you running in the same circles, you know who realizing that now? Who's realizing that now? Mr. P. Diddy. He realizing that. You can run in the same circles with them, but you will never be them. You will have clout, even if you got money, but you would never be able to get out of things like how they get out of it.
Exactly. And you would think that black men would learn from our predecessors that have basically got the money, forget our culture, and then want to date they women. O.J. Simpson, list goes on and on and on. And the goalpost for us is pushed further. It's pushed way further. And that's something you have to be cognizant of when you get into this game, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the information me and Moochie is preaching is for the culture, but it's for everybody. But for my white people listening to us, we want you to help us do better. We need you to help us do better. You know, we need you to help us do better by educating your kids, your friends on the things that we as African Americans go through, so that they can be sensitive of when these situations happen to us while we come and talk. Black people that make it, I understand that when you get to that hierarchy, it's not a lot of us there. But you know what? You can at least help see to it that some of us get there, and don't lose your way trying to be in the in crowd. And then when you get caught up with them, try to run back to the culture for help.
Yep. Then that's just what he did, walking in there with Megan Good. I think that pissed black women off, because he walked in there with her on his arm, but people's not understanding the whole thing. I feel like maybe if they would have came clean from the beginning, I was on the outs with this person, and me and her don't even stay together no more, but we went out that night and she looked through my phone. If it was something like that, you shouldn't have even been entertaining her if she's showing a crazy side. And this is the problem. Y'all like the crazy coochie, but crazy coochie come with consequences. So it's CCC, crazy coochie consequences. I couldn't even get that out.
Don't make you a C shirt with 3 C's connected going vertical.
Look, it'd be a triangle. CCC. Crazy coochie. They had an arrow
my
pointing at the coochie. Crazy coochie
Now,
consequences.
now I'm going to put this up here, and then we'll move on from Jonathan Majors because we got a lot to talk about. I usually don't recognize this guy, but this was made by Umar Johnson saying Snow Bunny Majors convicted by jury despite video showing him running from Snow White, blah, 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 boycott bunny hopping. Now, I believe you love who you want to love, but I do think that you have to understand that if stuff hits the fan with whomever you love, and whether it's a black person, white person, man, woman, gay, whatever, we live in a society that has stereotyped all these different groups. And then we live in a society that has historical data on the way certain things happen when it comes to the law. And if you're going to be someone black, especially a black man dating a white woman, you have to be cognizant that if it all hits the fan, your consequences are going to be more dire than what it would be if you was with a black woman. Moochie, am I wrong in that assessment? Or do you think that's a bad opinion?
I don't know. Right now, black women are getting such a bad rap as far as being in relationships. And I'm not liking it. I feel like we're being we're being attacked on all sides. We're being attacked by the LGBT. We're being attacked by black men. We're being attacked by white men, white women, all of that. It's just on all sides. Now, as far as with him, Jonathan Majors, he I feel like this is all BS, man. This is all BS. And they're gonna see him as the aggressor. They made it look bad for him with the text messages too, because he kept calling himself a monster in them things.
Yeah,
I was like, why do you keep saying that? And I know you said it earlier about how I believe he messed himself up with the text messages.
Yeah.
All you had to do was show that video of him running them 8 city blocks, and I think it would have went down a little bit better. Johnny Depp had the same thing happen with his career because of somebody that was scorned, but he kind of wiggled his way out of it because he lost a lot of deals and stuff like that. Look, I don't even know if he's still gonna do the Pirates of the Caribbean where he was Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, and the thing is, so folks, Johnny Depp was in court cases too. He won one. I want to say he won the one here, but lost in England or vice versa. I don't have the stats sitting right in front of me, but he won the case in one country, lost it in another country. The women's movement, the ones who are like really, really out there, would have you to say, just because she had proof of being bruised, we're not supposed to have an opinion that something more could have happened to lead up to that situation. The problem is,
but they're talking about it in the thing.
The problem is, this one, we have way more video evidence that there was more to this than what would just be an ordinary beating. There's one thing where a man just come in, whips a woman's ass constantly, and nothing's happening. It's another thing when someone take your phone, get mad, possibly incite violence, and then chase you 8 blocks around the corner. You running from her wrath. I would want to know, and look, I'm in support of everything that the women's movement do when it's fair. I'm in support of black women. I always say the most strongest species ever created on earth is the black woman. You hear me say that over and over again. It's why I'm married to one. But I would want to know from the women's movement people, what are your thoughts on her getting that message and chasing him around 8 blocks? How do you feel about that? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Where does that come in your scope of trying to teach people about not just one moment in this saga, the overall thing? Where you at on that? And Moochie, anything you got to say to close up Jonathan Majors? It's all on you.
Okay. I feel like he really thought that those tapes of him running from her was gonna clear him. And it's like I said, keep in mind, like, I'm from New York. That judge is a very biased judge. He was on her side from the get-go. I think his lawyer messed up in the beginning of this, because they said she had messed up in the beginning of this. And
Yeah.
I don't think they should have brought out the text messages. Why did it take so long for them to get her to come back here? And why she's supposed to be charged? When is her trial? When is her case happening? He better pursue and keep pressing charges against this broad.
He probably will, and everybody is going to be out here watching it to see it. If I'm being 100 with you, Moochie, I don't blame Marvel for what they did. He had a contract. They still got to pay him his contract money. I think Marvel did what they did because I think Marvel was somehow or another privileged to see all this evidence before we got to see it. And then they made the judgment call. We don't want our franchises going forward to be like what happened with The Flash and DC. So from a business perspective, I get why they did it. But I think that the franchise is big enough that they could have turned this thing into something good, maybe had them have a sit down, talk about him doing some work on not this type of thing not happening in the future. But at the end of the day, this is not the end of Jonathan Majors. He's too talented of an actor for this to be the end.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm with you.
They did it for the white artists. They did it for the white actors. Why not for him? What are they going to do with this character now? Because they had many things and it was going to make him look very powerful. So what are they doing with the character now? Are they going to recast it, or are they going to just put it in the vault and then nobody sees it? What are they going to do? Or are they going to replace it with a white character, a white actor?
Moochie, they could potentially recast and also bring in another villain that supersedes what his villainous role was going to be. So I could see them doing that. I could see them putting it in a vault. If you look at what they did in this last season of Loki, they kind of sold up the character to some degree. You could literally end the character right there. But the thing is, there's other Kangs in all the other universes. And that is pretty much what they do on Loki's show now. They go after Kangs in all these other universes. And you could literally leave it with just Loki and that show going after all the Kangs and just have another big one as far as what the Avengers are going to be fighting in terms of, like, they could have Doom, Galactus, somebody else. But we'll see, man. And we want to hear from y'all. Post your comments. What do you think about this Jonathan Majors thing? What can you learn from this to teach your young men and women too what they can do when these type of situations arise, so that no one is having their laundry aired out, so that nobody's going to be dealing with court issues, and so that nobody's having to lose a potential bag in the future?
If you see that it's toxic, get out. If you see that it's toxic, get out. Get out. Close one door before you open the next. It's that simple.
I will move on, folks. But Moochie always gives great advice. Moochie gives great advice, but I'm gonna just move on.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's gonna
what's the point in having cake? What's the point in having cake if you can't eat it? Damn! Don't tease me. I want to eat my cake. Hell, I ain't keto dieting right now. Give me all the cake I can get my mouth on.
Then look. You got to look. If it's toxic, you need to get away from it. That's it.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Some people like that. Arguing and making up and the makeup sex and all that. That's too much. That's too much drama. I want a nice, quiet life.
You ain't the only one. I have a super chat to read, ladies and gentlemen. It comes in from Princess Reality that says, "This is an excuse, Lamont. It's bigger than just him. They are killing the little representation for little black kids. If she was
Exactly.
black, he would still be king." Well, I did pose that question to Moochie early on. I also said probably if she was black, this probably wouldn't even have went this far in the first place. If I'm being
Yep.
100 about it, probably wouldn't have went this far in the first place. Post your comments, y'all. We moving on to Moochie's story. Moochie
He can't
hit me
even
up,
get
ladies.
into he can't even get into nothing no more now. I'm talking about like anything domestic. They're gonna look at him just like they look at Chris Brown now at this point. And he wasn't even the aggressor.
He better have receipts, Moochie. Like if somebody is bullying him or whatever, like you said, he better close that door and get out and move on. That's what they're gonna have to do. Our next subject, ladies and gentlemen, is this brother right here. Another brother in the news. Draymond Green. Moochie wanted to talk about this one. So Moochie, let's let the people catch back up on what's been going on with Draymond Green over the last couple of weeks. Here we go.
The NBA is suspending Draymond. What's next for the Warriors? Do they try and move on from him? Can they even move on? Look at a trade or something like that.
Moochie, you get first crack at this. I'm interested to hear, what do you have to say about Draymond Green?
He needs anger management. Anger management. I feel like he's becoming a liability for the Warriors. And they might, I believe they're gonna make moves to get rid of him. He's suspended indefinitely. Do you think he's gonna get out the league, or do you think they're gonna move him? And where would you think he would go? Like where do you think that he could how I could say it? Where would you think they would want a player like that? Or do you think he's gonna be so toxic where no one wants him?
He's an enforcer, and we don't. And in this generation of the NBA, we have enforcers, but they're not enforcers like the 90s. And this guy kind of reminds me of a 90s style enforcer, except for, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not condoning his behavior. What he's doing is wrong. And he came out and said himself, he didn't mean to hit this guy, but what he was doing was trying to sell a call. That's what he said. That's what he said he was trying to do, sell the call and inadvertently hit this guy. Well, the problem is, if you're acting for the referee, you basically telling me you damn one stage play away from winning an Oscar. How don't I know you're not acting when you say you are just trying to sell a call for the referee, when really what you're doing is hitting this guy and pretending that you're selling a call for the referee? And he's a repeat offender. He's been doing this over and over and over again like it's a part-time damn job for the NBA because he keep getting fined so much damn money. He definitely needs anger management. I could see him going to, there's only a handful of places I could see him going to where they kind of got old school people in management and coaching. Miami with Pat Riley, and they would slap his ass on probably a 1-year deal with a lot of incentives, or a 3-year minimum with a lot of incentives, because Draymond is still a starting player. You can't sit here and say he's not talented, because the man can rebound, he can pass, he can defend. He still has those skills. I could see him maybe in San Antonio with a Greg Popovich. I could see him there.
I'm gonna go with Coach Drehead, and my brother said the same thing. I see him with the Mavericks. They run and gun like that, and he's gonna be one of them people that's gonna be ready to put people in chokeholds and headlocks and stomp to the chest and all that other stuff. He gonna be still doing what he do if he go there. They gonna really have to if you smacking people in practice. Come on, you smacking people in practice.
It wasn't smacking, he punched them out, and they had that on film.
I was trying to be polite because
man, Moochie's trying to be
and yoking them out and all of that. I'm trying to be on my best behavior, Lamont.
Moochie's such a lady. He punched that guy daylights into next year, man. And you see, they moved Jordan Poole because they had loyalty to Draymond. And he's still out here doing the same mess. So it's like, Draymond, you got to calm down. Maybe I'll meet you one day. And if you ask me the same thing, I'm going to say the same thing. But I would love to meet you and talk to you and see what's going on. But, bruh, calm it down, man. Extend that career as far as you can extend it.
He just signed somebody said he just signed a 4-year deal for $100 million.
He did.
They gotta figure out they're gonna lose money with this trade. So does that mean that?
No, because there's only one sports league where the money is fully guaranteed, and that's baseball. So what they could do is finagle some draft picks, have the next team pick up some of the capital, and I'm sure there's clauses in there that say if you do something detrimental to the team, we don't have to pay you the money. So we could see any number of those scenarios happen, Moochie, but they can get rid of him if they want to.
But you think they're just gonna trade him?
It's hard to say because, like I said, when he had a problem with a teammate, he's had problems with multiple teammates. One reason I got this is because it wasn't just Jordan Poole he had problems with. He called Kevin Durant the B word. And you see what the team did? Instead of trying to fit the team to keep KD, the team just didn't do anything to help KD. They just said, we'll let you go. Then we turn around with Jordan Poole, and they let him go. So they've shown complete loyalty to Draymond, but at some point in time, your value has to supersede the loyalty. Like, you got to keep updating your resume. You're only as good as what you can give somebody in that moment.
And he's not getting them to the championship because he keep getting suspended. He done messed up. This is like the third time that they was getting ready to go to they had a promising to go to the championships, and he does something where he's suspended for a whole bunch of games.
Not to mention, a lot of people still feel like that championship the Cleveland Cavaliers won and Draymond got ejected for that final game. A lot of people feel like the Golden State Warriors would have won that championship had he not got himself ejected. So, okay. All right. Post your comments, y'all. Let us know what you think. Draymond got anything left in the tank? Will anybody want him? I think somebody will, and I think he'll get traded, but I don't think his career is done. He might be suspended. In my opinion, he's not suspended indefinitely. They might suspend him probably to after the All-Star break, something like that. But let me know what y'all think.
Well,
now, Moochie, are you
all this time?
Yeah, he's not.
Learn to keep your hands to yourself.
Let me read some comments I missed from the big brother Steve. Steve said, it's not trumped up. He did the crime. He needs to deal with the result. They have the receipts of past altercations. Stop beating women. So Moochie, has he beat some women? Has he beat her in the past or something that I missed?
They saying I never they remember I told you they brought up his other relationships, how he's abusive. Right. There's a whole bunch of stuff on TikTok about him too with previous relationships. But
okay.
It's his temper. They saying his temper is crazy. Then you had him in that movie where he was the bodybuilder. That didn't come out, and they were saying that whole movie is based off a bodybuilder. You know the routine where he probably was using that make him have a temper, and how abusive he was and how aggressive he was. So you coming off the heels of this movie acting like this person. You just came off from being a boxer. So all of this stuff is gonna look. Sometimes art imitate life.
Well, I mean, if you have a history of beating people, it's just like Draymond. I mean, you've already done.
It's just a matter of time.
Place, so, right. So, yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, don't beat women. That ain't cool. And if you got a history of it, I 100% agree and see more and more reasons why the jury went the way they did. He's lucky they didn't go completely hardcore and give him all the charges. Steve comes back
Yeah,
again and says, and appreciate the super chats too, y'all. Steve says he's a very talented player, but until he can control himself, he's a liability anywhere. There's no place for that in the NBA. I agree with Steve again. There is no place for that in the NBA. And if the threat of losing your career is not enough for Draymond, what's going to do it? Probably nothing. So we'll see. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, we still got more Black entertainment news. Now we're back into the acting world again. We're back into the acting world. This time, someone has come out and said that there are a lot of powerful Black men in Hollywood that be trying to take some back shots on his hind parts. This brother right here, Christian Keys, ladies and gentlemen. And you like that picture, don't you, Moochie? You like that? You like that? You ain't gonna say nothing?
Cross could go, but I like that picture. He's nice to look at.
Well, he's been talking, y'all. He's dropped some videos about things that happened in Hollywood and what he thought about Tyler Perry, and Tyler Perry rebuttal. So let's take a look at this, and then me and Moochie will let you know how we feel.
In case you haven't seen Christian's video talking about his abuser, here it is.
So my brother hit me. He was a little concerned about safety when dealing with powerful people. The good news is several family members and my attorney have the proof, the description, the breakdown, the audio, the names of the people, all of that. So if anything happens to me, then that information will come out. And I trust God. I'm out here setting up scholarships and doing right by people. God ain't gonna let nobody do no dumb stuff here. So, love y'all, many. I appreciate y'all.
Tyler Perry has reacted to the accusations that Christian Keys has made. On December 16th, Christian made some very serious allegations where he said he was abused and assaulted by a male entertainment figure. He said this figure is someone who he considered to be a brother and a mentor. These comments from Christian has caused a huge amount of controversy. A huge part of this controversy is that a lot of fans are accusing Tyler Perry of being the man that Christian is accusing of abuse. This is because Christian has been on record calling Tyler a mentor, and he said that his abuser was someone who he considered to be a mentor. Despite Christian not naming anyone, Tyler has gotten a lot of backlash from Christian's fans. One fan wrote about this saying, "Tyler Perry, your time has come, and I've been waiting a very, very long time for this. I really think it's him, and I just know his career will be ended over this." Another fan said, "I just know Tyler Perry is at home sweating. I feel like everybody thinks it's him, and there's a great chance that it is him. I just hope Christian is okay, as it must have been a lot for him to endure." And finally, one more fan said, "People want it to be Tyler Perry because they dislike him no matter the facts. How about wait until more details come out before you attempt to jump on the destroy Tyler Perry bandwagon? Leave jealousy, hate, and other personal feelings out of it." After this happened, Tyler Perry made a suspicious Instagram comment where he's seemingly alluding to this drama. A quote was posted on Instagram saying, "When the vultures surround you, try not to die." Tyler commented underneath this quote saying, "Ain't that too right? People in this world are hateful and horrible." Because Tyler's comment happened on the same day as Christian's accusations were made, a lot of people online interpreted this was Tyler's way of saying that it's not him and that the public are hateful people.
And Christian Keys came out and dropped something the other day basically saying that it's not Tyler Perry. I didn't pull this up for us to try to guess who it is. We don't know. I pulled this up because, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that happens in Hollywood on a day-to-day fucking basis. People, which is why y'all hear me oftentimes gripe about capitalism. Because when you're trying to come up in certain industries, well, pretty much in every industry, you need a mentor. And when you're trying to come up in Hollywood, a lot of the things you need, you have to get powerful people involved that have either access to resources, have the resources, or have money or have all of it. And I can just tell you right now, people is not always just giving of their damn heart charitably just because they're sweet people. No, they like you, they like something about you, they see some value in you. It's never ever done just out of pure altruistic purposes unless you truly related to this person. And with this guy right here, he's a good looking brother, he's fit, he's in shape. And there's a lot of folks who try to pretend like they're not gay in Hollywood that are. And I could see people trying him the same way men have tried women. Having said that, Moochie, how does someone who's trying to come up still be able to overcome this and come up without having to give up their dignity?
You have to know some people, it goes by how your morals are. Some people don't want to do, they're not into stuff like that, so they don't want to be entertained by stuff like that. And now to me, this is hard because it's everywhere. It's everywhere in the entertainment business. We're seeing it in politics.
It's everywhere. It's not just entertainment.
It's everywhere now.
Everywhere. I'll tell you something that bothers me. If you know that the person, let's just say you are with a person who's mentoring you or whatever, and they've hinted that they kind of like you more than just helping you come up. Another thing you shouldn't do, don't lead them on. If they're flirting with you, don't flirt back with them. Don't. I mean, that goes to Moochie's point about morals. If you know someone has been hanging with you, mentoring you, and you can kind of feel that they've got those more feelings for you than just, I'm going to help you up, don't entertain that and see how much help they're going to really give you. Now, a lot of people would say, well, no, that ain't my fault. If he like what he see, I'll let him talk to me however you want to. Well, if you talk too much like that, he's going to try something. And I'm not saying the R word. I mean, he might try to say, let me take you out, get you in a dark corner, try to kiss you, whatever. Something that's not as grotesque as the R word. And if you get offended by that, you can't then say that you didn't see it coming because you've allowed this person to flirt with you to that point. At the end of the day, it's like
you got to know when to draw the line.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say you've got to have a line you draw. And maybe your line is you're okay with them flirting, but you ain't okay with them going further. If that's the case, then let them know. Hey, you can say I look nice. You can say my dress you say I look good in this dress. You say I got a fat butt, but that as far as I want you to go with it. That's all that's going to ever be. You complimenting how good I look. You complimenting what, your fantasies might be to me, whatever. I don't want to go that far. And then if the person really don't care about you, you'll see what happened. But I think, Moochie, oftentimes some people trying to come up, they don't say those things because they know that if that allure of you can possibly have me, I'm just not going to say nothing, is gone, they feel like whoever's trying to help them is not going to help them. What say you, sis?
Yeah. Well, to me, it's like he was, you got to look at it like this too. If somebody messed up where they broke, sometimes they feel like, well, I could stomach this for a little while and then, it'll stop. Well, I feel like once it starts, it's going to get worse.
Yeah. It ain't no going back.
It's just going to get worse from there.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not
you should be laughing at, you should be putting the person in their place right away if they crossing the line. And you don't entertain or laugh it off. None of that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let them know. Let them know what the line is so that they don't cross it. Let them know what the line is. So post your comments, y'all. Let us know what you think about Christian Keys. Got some more super chats from the big homie Steve, who says, I want you to mentor me in streaming, but I ain't for the extra. Steve, believe me, I ain't got no extra for you, okay? I ain't got no extra for you. Hold that. Next, he says, Moochie is so right. It's everything, everywhere right now, but it has always been. Did we just not know Diddy is crazy? Yeah, we knew. We been knew Diddy was crazy. We been knew it. We been knew it. But I have to say, Moochie, I'm enjoying the way 50 Cent is trolling him. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't take pleasure in that. I know I'm wrong. I know I shouldn't. But Moochie, I'm enjoying the way 50 Cent been trolling my man. What do you think about 50 and his behavior?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Keep in mind, he was blackballed in New York. Everybody's wondering where all this animosity comes from. Animosity comes from with between 50 and him. He was blackballed in New York, y'all, back in the day. He had to go to the West Coast to get his record deal.
Dr. Dre and
of course he gonna troll all of them. And who knows? He being inside with Dr. Dre and all them, he probably found out the truth with everything. That's why he trolling him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is wait till I make it. Wait till you hear about the people that done me wrong that I am going to drop bricks on. Boy, y'all think 50 Cent Instagram and social media is entertaining. Wait till some of y'all been with me for so long, y'all already know what I'm capable of. And there are some people that have done me wrong. When the time comes, I'm going to let them have it. Last thing I got for you, Moochie. Everybody is dying, and I mean dying, to hear just one theory you have about power. So let me show you the trailer for the upcoming episode, number 4, and then I want you to give me one good theory you got, and then we'll get out of here.
I will run your ass into the fucking ground. I don't know what shit you doing, Kanan. Oh. But I can tell it ain't good. Turn around. You brought all this shit into his life. Detective Howard, you got a minute? And the feds, they got eyes on you, they got eyes on Kanan.
They can look all they want. Ain't got shit to see.
You heard Rock in her stunning 1990s voice. They can look all they want. They ain't got shit to see. I know what I want to see, Rock. This is Lamont Tyson speaking, but I'm not going to say. But anyway, Moochie, what kind of theory? Give us one theory you have based on what happened from this. Oh, well, it don't got to be a good one. It can be a minor one based on what you've seen in this trailer.
I hope they don't make him look like he really gonna overpower Dean this fast. Is he gonna knock Dean off his square this fast?
Okay. No, it would. You can't. Dean is a boss, and you can't get rid of a boss just like that. And probably Dean is a pain point for crazy ass Ronnie, and crazy people don't like to end the life of someone who's created pain, and they like to draw it out. So he's not going to end Dean easy because he wants to. I'm thinking he wants that plug from Dean. And when Dean say he ain't fooling with him, that's going to make him go really, really upset, haywire, dirty, and bad.
So what's going to be his retaliation? That's what it is. Like, how will he retaliate? Now we're going to find out if we're going to find out if Ronnie is really a thinker or he just somebody that's just 730 that's just crazy.
No, Ronnie's a thinker, and I think we're going to see Snap, Crackle, and Pop right here in this coming episode, who going to be connects most likely for Ronnie, and I think Ronnie's going to turn Kanan on to these people, and then they're going to start doing cocaine. But the problem I got with that is, do you think Lulu is going to try to save Kanan from the game? Because you heard Lulu talking to Kanan in this trailer, and a lot of people think Lulu is the person that got Kanan out of that situation where he got caught with something in his bag.
Is Detective Howard going to come to the school, though?
I don't think he's going to call Detective Howard. I think he's going to call Lulu because he knows Detective Howard would tell his mama.
And Lulu and him is like this right now. So
yep. You think that's a possibility?
I feel like it is a possibility, but if he does that, then now I could see something coming bad for Lulu.
You didn't heard me predict. Now, did you catch this? Tommy in the background on that building.
Yeah, but yeah, I think yeah, I see it.
Are we going to see one with Ghost on it?
Why everybody want to see? This is what I was talking about last night. My stew is marinating. The Raising Canaan stew is marinating. Please stop opening my pot and putting y'all spoon in it and let it marinate. It ain't time for them yet. Y'all trying to bring Ghost and Tommy in here? Let the stew marinate. Take that spoon out the pot and put the top back on. Get off my stove.
Moochie, don't nobody cook soul food no more. Everybody doing microwave dinners. They ain't got no time for that soul food. Everybody want their microwave dinner, they microwave TV. Hell, they want microwave relationships now. I can order. Did you see where Tinder has got a $500 a month subscription service?
No, I didn't see that because I don't be on stuff like that. Too many crazy people.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Tinder now has something you can pay $500 a month. What I want to know is, do you get the bitch with the $500 a month? Do you get the man with the $500 a month? What are you getting for $500 a month on Tinder? Somebody please.
Prostitution, honey.
Okay, we're out of here, ladies. We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like this video. Comment, subscribe. Come check us out this weekend. We'll be back. You can always go ahead and you can follow me on my podcast. There it is right there. Life Gains Podcast. This show and a lot of others go up there on that. Go follow me on TikTok at Life Gains 1. I am now about 2,500 subscribers in 6 months. I appreciate y'all for following me over there. And then, of course, I'm on IG and X. Moochie, what videos or what are you going to be doing on your channel over the next 2 days?
We are getting ready to talk about Black Cake, y'all, with the ladies. We're going to talk about that movie Black Cake. And we all, I do the pregame for Raising Canaan on Thursdays at 10 p.m. So please keep your notifications on. I will be doing the my many parts of Canaan as well as the trailer breakdown. So keep your notifications on and holler at your girl.
Put them hammers up, y'all. Till that next Sex is Hell video. We out.